The Summer I Turned Pretty is back with the first two episodes of Season 3, and it quite literally had it all. Cheating, hookups, lying, failing college, and a car accident. If this wasn't the perfect way to start off the season, then I don't know what could be. With Billy going off to college to be closer to Jeremiah, Taylor and Steven seeming perfect for each other, but them both not fully committing, and Conrad mourning the past and finding it difficult to move on. This is the final season, and we're going to be building towards seeing if Bella will end up going back to Conrad or staying with the one who she believes is her forever love, his brother Jeremiah. So with that, let's dive into these episodes and break down all that there was to take away from them. Here is The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3, Episodes 1 and 2, Ending Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Billy and Jeremiah. This was definitely the most turbulent way to kickstart the season. There were lies that the both of them were keeping from each other, and to be fair, what Jeremiah did was worse because he actually went out of his way and slept with somebody else, which is the physical cheating. However, I would say that Billy did kind of do the emotional cheating in the sense that she spent a couple of nights with Conrad at the house in Cousins. Didn't do anything physical with him, but she finished the crossword with the answer, "I still love you," after he left. So I feel that showed that she did still hold feelings for him last Christmas, and she chose not to tell Jeremiah because she knew how he'd react. So I'd call it two different types of cheating. Do you agree with that? Let me know. Billy was heartbroken after finding out that Jeremiah cheated on him, and we saw her quite literally finding it so difficult to escape the memories that they shared together because the entire reason that she went to Finch College was so that she could be closer to him. And now, several years later, the ghost of their relationship was walking through all of the hallways and rooms, so it was inescapable and was adding to the fact that she was grieving the relationship that she thought that she had lost. However, what we did see was that with Steven getting into a car accident and her almost losing her brother, she realized that life was too short to not be with the person that you love most, and this was where the conclusion of episode 2 came. She forgave Jeremiah and understood why he perceived them to be on a break, and she said that he could never hurt her that way again. This led Jeremiah to propose to Billy and ask if she'd marry him, to which she said yes. So it seems like their happy ending could finally be in sight. However, with it being this show, I don't think it's going to be as plain sailing as that. There was a line that Billy's mother said to her at the start of the first episode where she said, "Don't be limited by Jeremiah," when she first went off to college, and that's a line that I feel is going to be so important moving forward. We know that Billy has this study abroad semester that she's got the opportunity of doing in Paris, something that she's always wanted to do, and I now wonder if this engagement to Jeremiah is going to get in the way. I also wonder if she does end up going, will we see Jeremiah becoming paranoid that she might cheat on him? It's often said that the people that cheat are often the most paranoid, and with her being away like he was when he cheated, he might think that she'd do that, when I don't think she actually would. But that paranoia that he might have could end up driving a wedge between them. So I think one way or another, she's going to be limited by Jeremiah, and it'll connect back to the words that her mother spoke to her. Conrad. I actually feel so bad for Conrad. He's getting his life together, but it's so clear to see that he's on his own, and his mind is just stuck in the past because he still truly loves Billy. We even saw that he was going to therapy to try and get out of this dark place in his mind where he felt that he was just remaining still. There was one scene in particular that really stuck out to me in these first two episodes with Conrad, and it was when he was at the bar with Agnes and she asked him if he'd ever been in love. He responded and said that he had been and that it was a 10 out of 10 feeling and that it was with Billy. However, he regretted the fact that when he was with her, he never told her, and I think that's something that's probably eating him up inside. He's probably thinking, would things have played out differently if he had told her? That's been Conrad's biggest issue with the relationship, communication. He'd have feelings and do things, but Billy would never know. It's like when he went to Jeremiah for Conrad's approval to be with her in the previous season, and Billy didn't know about that, and she said that if she did, she would have fought for him because she thought at the time that he didn't care in the slightest. I don't think that therapy is something that's going to cure Conrad's pain because I don't think he's truly going to be able to get over her. He needs to approach those feelings that he has head on, speak with her, and then allow her to make the decision. During the previous Christmas, we saw that Conrad still cared about her deeply in the way that they were acting together. lying on the ground when she fell, putting on a fire, watching a movie together, and he even had a look on his face when she was on the phone to his brother. I think this season is building towards a couple of different things. Conflict between the brothers and Conrad and Belly actually telling each other how they truly feel about one another, because I think they're both still in love. Belly said in a voiceover, "Your first love is important and the one that you'll always remember, but it's not as important as your last." But what if Conrad could be the both of them? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. With him being fired on his first day from the medical program, he had this fear that he wouldn't be able to attend the dedication and do the speech for his mother, but it seems like that's not going to be a problem now, so I imagine we'll see him going to the house for that event. Taylor and Steven. Well, these two were back together. Kind of. In light of what the theme of the first two episodes were focused on, they were cheating on their partners and were being with one another on the sly, acting like a couple when alone together, but feeling hesitant of actually committing. This was coming more from Taylor because when they were actually in a relationship, she didn't feel like they were that compatible and that they had issues that would often rise to the surface. This all came to a climax when Steven told Taylor that he broke up with Mia for her and that he wanted to actually be with her, but Taylor didn't agree and bolted out of the car. When Steven turned the car around, the car ended up getting hit and he was put into a medically induced coma to make sure that the swelling on his brain went down. This was what made Taylor realize that she actually wanted to be with Steven and she wanted to give it a go properly, so she ended up breaking up with Davis, her boyfriend that she was cheating on. Once Steven awoke, he told her that he didn't actually want to be with her and that he agreed with everything that she said in the car before she had the chance to admit her true feelings. Steven definitely isn't speaking from the heart as he turned to the side and there was a tear in his eye. So I don't think this will be something that'll stick. I think the both of them not being together will last for a while because it makes good drama for the season, but in the end, I don't think they'll be able to keep away from each other. My review of the episodes. I thought the first two episodes of this season were pretty strong. They literally had everything that makes the show what it is. Drama, arguments, romance, breakups, and the group all experiencing completely different emotions. I find a show like this relatively easy to just kick back and watch because there's no real deeper themes that are embedded within it, but what's most fun about the show is predicting where it's going to go and who Belly could well end up with. To be honest, I was on Belly's side with what happened with Jeremiah, and if I were her, I don't know whether I'd have taken him back. The betrayal of trust and the speed in which he moved on to somebody else would be something that would just linger in the mind. I'd say that I think it's clear to see that as they're maturing, Conrad would probably be the better match for her. He truly cares about her, and I don't think there's anything that he wouldn't do in order to make her happy. He still loves her, and she still loves him, so I'm fully cemented on being Team Conrad. I'd say that the pacing of these first two episodes was pretty solid. They both had generous runtimes in being almost an hour, and the story moved in a natural way. One thing that I do want to praise in this show are the songs that got selected to feature under the scenes. Like in the previous seasons, the songs that get selected really do reflect the tone and mood of the scene, and it just allows the viewer to experience more of the emotion from what's occurring. Take the song Forever playing underneath the engagement. It just elevated the scene and made it hit even harder. This is the final season of The Summer I Turned Pretty, and for what it is, I feel like they got off to a strong start, so I'm excited to see where it's going to go. So, there you have it, The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 Episodes 1 and 2 Ending Explained.